What's up, you guys? Welcome to today's video. I'm very glad that you are here with me. Today I figured we would do like an old school Q&A. It's been a while since I have done one of those, but before we get into the Q&A, I want to talk to you guys about today's sponsor of the video. Super stoked about it. Let's talk about it. So huge thank you to Mattress for sponsoring today's video. Now I've actually had one of their mattresses for about, I think it's been about 2 months, and I've been using it obviously every night and I absolutely love it. So one of my favorite things about the company is that my friend Brian is actually the person that's working with them, that he was the one that reached out to me and asked me if I would be interested in getting a new mattress. And so obviously I was like, well, I mean, I didn't think that there was anything wrong with the current bed that I had, but he was like, just trust me, just get the mattress and tell me what you think. And I gotta say, like, I have some footage of when I first got the mattress. It literally, like, I had no expectations and it has completely just blown my mind how amazing, like, I didn't even know what I was missing, you know, and it is just incredible. What I really like about the mattress is that it is made with, you know, memory foam, so it doesn't have much of spring to it, but it's 7 times cooler than other memory foam mattresses, because a lot of people that have memory foam mattresses, they trap in heat, so you're like super hot when you're trying to sleep. These ones do not do that at all, and I can honestly say that I have gotten my best night's sleep on this mattress. I absolutely love it. So in the United States, every single mattress up to their biggest size mattress ships for less than $1,000, and their twin size ships for less than $500. So compared to other memory foam mattresses, it is a lot cheaper. And then obviously I will have a discount for you guys. It will be down in the description for you guys to check that out to save even more money on top of that. Along with it not being super expensive, every single mattress comes with a 10-year warranty, and this is the coolest part, you have a 100-day risk-free trial. So basically you can sleep on it for 99 days and say, you know what, I don't really like this. You can send it back and get all of your money back, so there really is no way to lose. But again, thank you to Mattress. All of that information will be linked in the description down below. Let's get into the Q&A. So whenever I do a Q&A, I always like to answer the very first question first. And of course, the very first question, have you ever thought about juicing? And then I asked him, I was like, do you mean juicing with fruits or do you mean steroids? And he said, I mean steroids. So the very first question is a steroids question. So I do get that question a lot, and a lot of people are like, well, you know, have you ever thought about doing steroids to maybe fill out your loose skin, to, you know, gain muscle and fill out your loose skin? You guys, if I gained enough muscle to fill out my loose skin, I would look ridiculous. Like, I would look ridiculous. That's not, I don't want to get that big. Like, I would get really, really big. Compared to other drugs, I think it's much more safe than a lot of other drugs, but at the same time, it's still not, it's better and healthier for you in the long term, I think, to just not take them. So for me, like, I've always said this, you know, fitness, losing weight, working out, all of this stuff is to improve the quality of my life. And I really think that, yeah, I might look a little bit better and I might perform a little bit better for a little bit, but once I turn 50, 60, 70, I'm gonna have, because what steroids does, it basically spikes your testosterone. It makes you, you know, have a bunch of testosterone, but then when you stop taking it, it completely drops off, and then you actually end up with lower amounts of testosterone than you would if you just didn't take it. So for me, like, long term, it's just not something that doesn't sound good at all to me. And like the whole thing of like, yeah, but you'll fill out your loose skin with muscle. Like, I don't want to be that muscular. I really don't. So I don't see myself ever wanting to take steroids. It just, for me, it just is not for me at all. Next question, how old were you when you realized that you were heavier than everyone else? Thanks, John. You're an inspiration to me. Thank you very much. It actually happened relatively early in my life. Like, I would have to, it's hard to pinpoint exactly when it was, but I'm pretty positive that it was when I was in elementary school. And like, that's kind of crazy to think about, but like, I remember thinking to myself, like, my family would say this to me, like, oh, you're just husky, you're gonna grow out of it. Like, I remember being a kid thinking to myself, like, under 10 years old, I'm going to get taller, and like, I'm gonna go from here, and then I'm gonna get taller, and then kind of shrink. And I really did believe that. So it was definitely something that was in my head when I was super young, like in elementary school. So I would say like 8 or 9 is when I realized that I'm a little bit heavier than everyone else seems to be. What was the moment when you realized that you had reached your weight loss goal, and how did it feel? Now, this is a really good question, because it was something that I used to focus on so much when I was first losing my weight, was like, I can't wait to hit my weight loss goal. And I think the first goal that I set for myself that like I wanted to get to was like 200 pounds or something like that. But it's funny, as I've been going through, you know, it's been 4 years since I was at my heaviest, right? And as I've been going through that, like, I don't think I've ever hit somewhere where I felt like this is where I want to be forever, you know? Like, it's just changed so many times. Like, my goal has changed. Like, I got down to 180 pounds, right, for contest prep, but I knew that I didn't want to stay that lean anyway, so I wanted to gain weight, but then it turned into, like, I want to gain weight in a healthy way and not completely overeat and gain a bunch of weight super fast. So, for me, it's like, I have never, like, my goal is always changing, and I think that's important, you know, when you are losing weight or just, you know, having a fitness goal or having just, like, a goal in general, right? You always want to be going forward and reaching for something, because I feel like the moment that if I ever felt like I had hit my goal and I'm where I want to be, instead, like, I don't feel like there's such thing as just staying still. Like, it's either you're moving forward or you're moving backward. I definitely don't feel like I've ever hit a goal and been like, this is where I want to be. You know, I always like hit something that I wanted to, but by the time I got there, I had already made another goal that I wanted to hit too. So it's kind of a hard question to answer. So I guess there never has been a time where I was like, I want to, you know, get to this point. But I will say there's definitely been points where I'm like, wow, like, I went from literally being afraid of dying, you know, when I was 35 years old from a heart attack to now, like, I don't see why I won't live to be, you know, 90, 100 years old, and that is a really good feeling. And, like, being able to just do things with my body, like, be able to jump on a box and be able to do jump rope and things like that, like pull-ups, you know, that's been huge. And, like, little goals like that, I remember the first time I did a pull-up, I was literally like, I did it and I was just, I couldn't believe it. Like, I really couldn't believe it. And that stuff is just absolutely amazing. Like, that stuff is so much more satisfying than like hitting a weight loss goal, at least for me. So yeah. So this question was asked a bunch in a bunch of different ways, but this one says, will you and Jesse ever get back together? And there's some saying like, do you miss your ex-girlfriend, or do you miss being in a relationship? Now, I'm sure most of you guys know this. I am, you know, single, and I've been single for, I think it's been about like 7 months. To answer the question, do I think I'll ever get back with my ex? Absolutely not. Like, that's probably not going to happen, if I'm being completely honest. And there's, you know, there's reasons for that. And I think, you know, at the time when we were together, it was good, and it taught me a lot about things, but it also taught me a lot about things that I don't want in a relationship, not just with the person I was with, but with myself and how I, you know, am in a relationship and things. And you know, being single for, you know, 7 months, it's taught me a lot about myself, and it's kind of forced me to try and be okay with being me and not try to be, you know, be someone for somebody else. But if I'm not gonna sit here and lie to you guys, like, sometimes it's really hard, because like when I was with my ex, it turned into us together, right? Like, when you're in a relationship where you think like you're gonna be moving forward to marriage, like you do your best to kind of maybe like turn your lives into, you know, one kind of life, right? Which maybe wasn't the smartest thing, and like I said, we're not together anymore, so obviously it didn't work out. But it does get hard, and especially the first few months, like, there would just be nights where I mean, honestly, I would just like cry in my room, you know, and like, it has not happened in a very long time, which I'm very thankful for, but it was hard. Like, it was really, really hard, and a lot of people don't say that, but for me, it was difficult because I was all in, you know, like when you're all into something and then it's gone, that's hard, you know, and that was hard for me. It was very, very hard for me, and it's really shown me, and I guess like it's almost gotten to a point where I'm a little bit more careful when I get into, or maybe even start talking to somebody, because, you know, there has been times where, you know, I feel like I'm talking to somebody and then I'll start to notice things, and I'm like, you know what, I just need to chill out. And that's something that it's taught me a lot about. But yeah, I mean, sometimes it sucks being single, and like I miss being in a relationship, but at the same time, like, I'm able to do so many things and not have to worry about like trying to cater to someone else, which, you know, there's nothing wrong with being in a relationship, but for me, like, I'm gonna be going to the UK for a month, right? If I was in a relationship, that trip, I just genuinely think I wouldn't enjoy it as much, because I would miss my significant other that was back at home, right? But I don't have a significant other back here, so I can go to the UK and not feel like I have to check in with somebody or you know, talk to somebody all the time and feel like I need to give them my time. And I get that sounds very selfish, and maybe it is, but like, for me, I'm just excited that I can go on this trip, this amazing experience I'm gonna have, and not feel like I have to, you know, because like, I remember when I would go on trips, I felt bad because I couldn't bring that person with me, you know, and I won't have that feeling anymore. So, you know, it's hard, but at the same time, it's been good. How does your weight loss affect your confidence and self-esteem? Now, this is a good question, and it's one of those things that it's kind of hard, because I genuinely don't think that it's just the actual weight that I've lost that's given me more confidence and given me more self-esteem, because I definitely do think that I have more from when I was at my heaviest. But like I said, I don't think it's the actual weight that's come off. I think it's more the confidence and like the realization that I can actually achieve these things that I set out for myself. Because before, like, I would try things and I would just give up, and I would try things and I would give up, and then in my head I would think I'm a failure. I'm not somebody that can do things that I, you know, really want to do. And now that I've lost the weight, that confidence just in myself being like, you can set a goal and you can do it, so you should be more confident in yourself. That's more where the confidence comes from, more than just the actual weight that has come off my body. This was another very popular question. So, what remedies have you used to overcome loose skin? I prefer do it yourself, all natural, budget friendly. Thank you very much. Now, if you've been following me for a while, you'll know that I definitely do not trust any of those wraps, do not trust any of those creams. I've actually never even used any of them. Now, I guess that's kind of weird. Like, I don't trust it, but I've never used it. But I've seen enough, you know, ads. I've seen enough stuff to know when things are gimmicky. So I really, like, I advise against trying to use creams and stuff like that to try and, you know, minimize your loose skin, at least when it comes to the amount that I have. Now, if you're like a pregnant mom that had lost, you know, you were pregnant and then you had the baby and then you have a little bit of loose skin, I think maybe those creams and stuff will work a little bit more for that, you know, for like a little bit less loose skin. But if I'm being like, for the amount that I have, there is no cream or wrap that is gonna do much. Like, it might do a little bit, but I'm not gonna waste my money or my time on that stuff. So there's nothing that I can really say. Like, the only thing that I recommend anyone to do when it comes to that is just make sure you're drinking enough water, staying hydrated. But like, when it comes to like creams and wraps, I definitely do not believe in them, so I haven't tried them, so I don't really have a recommendation for you. Can I start CrossFit as an overweight girl? Will it be too hard, or is it easy to modify? So, and then she goes on to say a bunch of other stuff, really nice stuff. Thank you very much. Now, this is a question that I get all the time, especially like even in like real life, but obviously on the internet as well. You know, can I start CrossFit? I'm X amount of pounds. There are people in my gym that are severely overweight. And I'm not saying that to be me, but like, they are overweight, but they come in and they freaking kill it no matter what. And it is more inspiring than watching any of the super incredibly fit people at my gym. Like, anybody, I really believe this, anybody can start CrossFit if they want to. Now, is CrossFit for everyone? I don't think so, and I'm not someone that's gonna say that, but if it's something you're genuinely interested in trying, I think that you should give it a shot. And because there's, like you said, is it easy to modify? Yes. Like, everything is scalable, everything is modifiable to make it easier and more possible for you to do. And like, the reason that I love CrossFit so much is because of the community that it has built for me, but the community that it just has. I absolutely, like, if anyone, because like, I'm not gonna sit here and say like everyone should do CrossFit, because if you're not interested, you're not interested. That's fine. Like, I'm not here to try and push it on you. But if you are interested and you've been thinking about giving it a shot, 100% I recommend anybody at least give it a shot and try, because it really can change your life. It's changed my life, so I think that anybody can try it. It's scalable, it's modifiable, anybody should do it. I'm ranting now, but give it a shot, definitely. Is there such thing as losing weight in an unhealthy way? I would say personally, it's easier to lose weight in an unhealthy way than it is to lose weight in a healthy way. So to answer your question, yes, there's definitely a way, like an unhealthy way to lose weight. And like, this is why I'm so passionate about teaching people about weight loss, because anybody can restrict their calories to 300 calories a day and lose a ton of weight. But right, that's obviously not healthy. So that's why I just love trying to help people do it in a healthy and maintainable way that they can stick to for years and years and years. Because like I said, anybody can drastically cut calories and really ruin their metabolism, ruin their hormones, and just really mess themselves up by trying to lose weight too fast. And that is the unhealthy way. Like, personally for me, I think trying to lose weight too fast is the most, like, the biggest culprit of people losing weight unhealthily, is because they're trying to do it too fast. And it's really difficult because you want to see results, and like, I fell victim to it too. You want to see results and you start seeing results, so then you want to see them faster. So in your head, I'm just going to cut calories. But you got to think long term, and that's the hardest thing when it comes to losing weight. How much did you stay off carbs in the very beginning? Now that's an interesting question, because for me, like, I've never really cut carbs drastically. I've never been the person that was like terrified of carbs. I've always done well with higher carbs. So even when I first started, like, I've told this story a bunch, like the first thing I got when I first started losing weight was I bought a sandwich that had bread, you know, and I've never been afraid of like bread and stuff like that when I'm losing weight. And I don't know, for me, it's just hasn't been an issue. Now, this is a very complex, like, a lot of people do better on higher carbs, a lot of people do better on higher fat, a lot of people, everyone is so different. But for me personally, like, I never really cut carbs like down to like 50 grams or anything like that. I've always been done better with moderate to high carb in my diet, so I never did super low carbs. So I don't want this Q&A to go on forever, so this is gonna be the last question. It made me laugh, so I wanted to answer it. So, do you ever swear? And then in quotations they put rude words. Now, I used to actually swear, not like more than most people, but I used to swear, and I actually didn't start until I was like a senior in high school, and then I just kind of, you know, I was about 16, 17, I graduated when I was 17, so swore up until, honestly, I was making YouTube videos. And I remember the first time that I swore any YouTube video, you could probably find it on here if you really want to. It's one of the really, really old ones. But I remember I was watching it and I was editing it, and I got to that point and I watched myself say, I forget exactly what it was, but I just remember, like, I saw that and I was just like, I don't like that. Like, I don't know, it made me feel weird, like, seeing myself swear. So literally it was like that moment when I was like, I don't really want to swear anymore, because like, I wasn't the person that swear all the time and would say cuss words all the time, so like F-bombs all the time, but it definitely like made me more aware of it, and I just realized how I sounded saying those words, and it just was not something I was interested in at all. And literally since then, like, I mean, if it's like with the song, sometimes I'll like go along with the song, but I really just don't swear. And it's not for camera, it's not like I don't swear because I'm on camera, I just really don't swear in my normal life. And it's not something that I don't mind if people do. I have almost all of my friends swear, but I don't know, for me it's just kind of turned into something that I just don't like doing. So yeah, I don't swear anymore. So there you guys go, a Q&A. It's been a while since I've done one of these. I always love, you know, kind of telling you guys a little bit more about me, so I had a good time. Again, thank you so much to Bear Mattress for sponsoring this video. Again, that link is going to be in the description for you guys to check it out. But yeah, thank you guys so much for watching. Make sure you like, comment, and subscribe. There was one other thing that I wanted to say. Okay, look how buff I am. 1, 2, 3. Is that fun?
Yeah, do it again. Let's do it again.
Oh
Do it
no.
again. What?
Oh wait, no, it worked. Look it.
Obey the warning signs, and when there are flashing lights or wigwags, don't attempt to cross until they come to a complete stop.